Alrighty guys, the brand new ban list just got announced. Let's go ahead and check it out. This is my reaction. I still can't believe on the first picture that I see, YuGiOh's actually here, which I'm guessing is kind of a slap on the wrist for Snake Eyes, but I'm curious to see what actually gets hit here. So, starting right off, effective from April 15th, so that's basically in 2 days over here, and then it's going to be happening effective, so it's effective from here in Latin and North America, then EU, Africa, they get a different ban list a week later, whatever. The bottom line is we get a new ban list. I'm excited. So let's go and check it out, see if it's worth coming back to playing this game in the physical form, Kappa, or we're just going to prefer the Master Duel ban list. Anyways, starting right off for Forbidden YuGiOh. I would have never expected this. It's one of the best, like, generic, like, level 1 things, and it does have the ability to reoccur. Now, I was looking at like some of the Snake Eyes stuff that you could do, and you could still do most of the stuff in the deck. Obviously, yeah, you lose out on YuGiOh, but is that really going to destroy your deck, making it unplayable? Absolutely not. It depends what else they hit here. But another thing, Baron de Fleur, Savage Dragon. So it looks like they're just trying to hit. I don't know if this was even changed in... Yeah, this is not even changed in the OCG either. And then also getting rid of Baron. Oh, did they have like a special thing? It's a synchro. Let me go to Monster Synchro. I don't think it's even changed in the OCG over there. Oh, let me just type in de Fleur. Okay, there we go. So it's not even changed in the OCG as well. But the fact that they just got rid of 2 of the, like, you know, negates, and then they also hit, strangely enough, okay, I would have never guessed. Like, I could see Baron and Savage. It's like, okay, I didn't really super expect it to happen. I expected a lot more, like, Snake Eyes stuff to get hit, because that is the dominant deck, right? But with the change of Summon Limit, I did not expect that, considering it is a card that is kind of a floodgate, but we're under monsters here. This card where neither player can summon more or 2 times, I've seen this see a lot more play, and it's because, well, you go turn 1, and then when your opponent activates something that would summon something, then you can chain it, and then that would be part of it. It's a pretty good card. I used to actually side deck this card a lot in a lot of different decks. It looks like they're trying to get rid of like some sort of like floodgates where it's like, okay, Goes and Rivalry, all of these cards, you know, they're just trying to get rid of. But at the same time, then we probably have to look at like Summon Breaker. Like, this is what people might start playing. Now, I know Summon Limit's better because it's kind of like that surprise factor of like a trap card, but I mean, it literally has Summon Limit in the picture. It's literally pretty much the same thing, right? So it's only during the main phase 1, but if they conduct their 3rd summon, it just ends their entire turn, whereas the other one, they can still set back row. I mean, obviously, yes, this is going to be placed up face up on the field, but then it just ends their turn. They can't really do anything else. So they'd have to go wait until, I don't know, main phase 2. But again, then they're not going to be able to get over your board. It kind of depends. Obviously, in some circumstances, this could be better. The other one could be better. But it's kind of the same card at the end of the day, right? So they're getting rid of a lot of those things. And I would say, is that healthy for the game? Sure. I mean, there was that one thing that it was posted by Jeff Jones on Twitter like a while back ago, saying that like they weren't really happy with the state of the game as far as investors go, because people are just saying the game is too like 1-turn based. And that does support that, you know, playstyle, which is something that I've talked about. It's the video that had like over 1 million views talking about the state of the Yu-Gi-Oh game and how like it's a turn 1 kind of fest. And Baron, Borreload, these are like generic things that you can throw into majority of decks and just make like a negate 5 and go ahead, right? Next up though, these are cards that are now limited to 1. So, starting right off, obviously Kieran's in the picture, so we gotta talk about that. I've had a lot of people say that Kieran should come off the ban list. Magispectors were actually only really playable with this, and how Magispectors play, it's kind of more of a grind game deck. They got to set up, all of their monsters are basically just trash. They just search off a little bit of like card advantage where they get rid of this, get rid of that. It's a small sort of thing. Will it make the deck super powerful? I would say probably not going to be like an S tier, tier 0 deck. In fact, I'm surprised nothing got limited with the Snake Eyes or Fire King, some, you know, variants of that. Whereas Ash hit over here, not Ash Blossom, but, you know, the Ash Snake Eyes. But curious, maybe it's probably semi-limited. Anyways, that doesn't really do anything anyways. But Protos actually coming back over here. So going back to Magispector Kieran, I don't think this is going to be making a huge impact on the game. People will probably play it for like week 2 and be like, all right, whatever, I'm over it. It's too slow, right? Because the decks that are good in Yu-Gi-Oh are usually decks that can throw out turn 1, GG's, no reas sort of things, where they just make enough negations to make it so you can't play. Even with the Fiendsmith, which is the current deck that I would currently say is my most like meta deck that I enjoy. I still enjoy Dinosaurs. I still think that they're pretty good. But as far as Protoss coming back in the game, this card is pretty nasty. If you're playing against any archetype that, well, Protoss. That's the card that it gets rid of all of the attributes. So you pop all the attributes. So you say, like, it's a really easy summon condition. It's really easy in Lightsworn. That's where I first played it, and I think a lot of people first played it in Lightsworn, because you just banish 3 monsters with different attributes in your graveyard, and then you just go, okay, activate Protoss effect, get rid of all of those attributes, and then the next turn they can't summon them. Now in OCG you can play as many as you want. It's banned in TCG for reasons. I mean, it comes out, it gets rid of everything, but it's kind of a card that you need to play knowing what your opponent is playing, and you have to get rid of their stuff first. So I would say it definitely is a comeback card, but I mean, there's better options. I think Super Poly is just one of the best cards anyways. But as far as Protoss goes, there's also Eschatos. Yeah, this is the one that you declare the monster type, so like worms, whatever, you declare reptiles. But it's kind of like the same card. This card actually had better stats, but the other one is a lot more potent, because again, you just call light and dark. You play against Galaxy, you call light. What are they supposed to do over here? It's just GG's pretty much. They have a couple darks, but they need to go into the lights. So basically, that can shut down decks completely, and it kind of goes a little bit against what, you know, the design of like GG, like, you know, sort of plays. But how I feel about that, it's not like you make an Arch Nemesis Protoss deck, but like you could kind of splash it in. So that being at 1, some people will definitely try it out. Now, as far as the Dragon Rulers go, I'm curious to know your guys' thoughts on the Dragon Rulers. As I even mentioned before, like if Dragon Rulers came back at triple, I don't think it would actually be the S tier best deck in the game if you just threw in all the Dragon Rulers, because the game has definitely evolved since then to kind of shut down your opponent from really doing a lot of monster effects in the first place. So there could be support for the new water stuff coming out. If you guys didn't know, there is a new Abyss set coming out. People are speculating that mermaids or water will be up on the rise, some sort of sharks, but sharks have been, unless you go for like Crooked Cook, like cheese sort of stuff, for the most part, I wouldn't say that they were like anywhere near meta or like competitive, but maybe water will finally get a chance to rise again after, of course, they're going to be putting out the flames with maybe this ban list or the next one. But Thunder Dragon Colossus, this actually does have an impact on the game for sure. If I could spell it. All right, Colossus, that's the one that says your opponent can't add anything except by drawing them. So Thunder Dragons can get kind of nasty. Again, it's one of those turn 1 decks that, like, if they make this card, which they will do every single time, and if your deck kind of folds to this sort of card, then yeah. But for the most part, honestly, I've been really enjoying Fiendsmith plus Magical Musketeers and just maxing out on Super Poly, and I feel like it's a really good turn like 2 deck, and on top of that, going turn 1 is always good in Yu-Gi-Oh. But as far as this goes, this will definitely see some play. I'd say, like, out of all the things that we've seen, like out of what we can make a deck out of, right, this has the most potential. I think it has more potential than the Magic Specters, and then also out of nowhere, Chicken Game, which was originally using some sort of cheese stall, Exodia, Royal Magical Library, put a bunch of stuff on. I don't think anything is going to evolve out of just 1 Chicken Game. It's like a whatever. I think it's at 3 in the OCG. And like, it's, again, Yu-Gi-Oh's gone way too fast to try to run some sort of burn cheese, Exodia, draw everything. Good luck, man, is all I gotta say. But on top of that, yeah, putting it at 1 versus triple, that is a pretty big deal. And as far as anti-spell fragrance goes, I mean, I can't say that I'm surprised to see this, but you know what I'm more surprised is Natria Beast. Like, this card has gone unchecked. Obviously, this card would have to be just straight up banned, but like, Nat Beast or Exterio, like, there are some decks that can throw this out turn 1. Nat Beast is just a much better card. I mean, yes, anti-spell fragrance usually could be side deck against certain matchups. I mean, it's an auto win against certain archetypes. You play against a Spell Striker, you make that Nat Beast or anything like this, like, they literally like just fold that turn 1 because they can't do anything, and then you just OTK them, right? Or any deck that revolves around spells, which there are tons of decks that revolve around spells. So yeah, this card over here is a pretty big game changer if you know, your opponent opens up with it being at 1, whatever, if they draw it. And then over here, cards that are now semi-limited, Armageddon Knight, and I think Greffer. Like, I think this is like back in the Blackwing days, right? What's Greffer at? Oh wait, Greffer's at triple in the OCG, 1 in the TCG, and then what's up? Armageddon. Okay, Armageddon Knight is also at 1. Does this really matter? Probably not. Is it going to do anything at 2? Probably not. It's purely going to be a little bit better? Sure, but it's going to make huge impacts on where it is? I would say not really. Now, going into the semi-limited, something that I'm actually excited about via the little thumbnail here is Destiny Hero Malicious. I think that heroes with the I think it's called the Nemesis cards. They were called like the Umbrellas. I don't know if they're still called that. Sometimes I remember the Nemesis. Nemesis. sometimes the name changes from the OCG to TCG, and like I cover the cards as soon as they come out, right? So sometimes some of these names change. But as far as the, I liked this. If you guys have ever played Heroes with this, with Triple Mally, oh, it is disgusting. You can go for it. Lots of really good plays with it. So this going to 3, Mally is a huge W for me. I like it. Would I like it over Fiendsmith? Heck no, dude. I think Fiendsmith plus the Magical Musketeers is the deck that I think is going to be very, very powerful. But really no hits. Wait, actually, we're at the very bottom, right? Oh, wow. There's no hits to, like, Snake Eyes. I know there's an indirect with YuGiOh, but does that make the deck unplayable? No. So as far as Mally goes, I think that it will definitely see some more play. There's always people out there in the OCG playing Heroes. In the TCG, you see it once in a while. Orcus, I think the deck has kind of evolved. Back when we had like the Mermaid and the plays with the Mermales and stuff, that was really good when we had that water variant where you could play like water and you play like the, was it Aqua Dolphin and stuff. That was a really good deck for sure. This was back in like the Salomon Great days, but Mally going to 3 is a welcome change for me, and I don't think people are going to be like, oh man, it's super OP broken, Heroes' best deck. But you can throw Mally into other things, and because we lost out on some of the other synchros over there. And then Terratop, what was that one actually at? I remember people used to make like synchros with, okay, so this going from 2 to 3, is it going to be making a huge difference? Not really, in my personal opinion. Sky Striker Engage going to Unlimited. Okay, so I remember when that card was in 1. But Sky Striker is a deck you see once in a while. I mean, it's a small little like buff to all of these things. Is this going to be really shifting up the metagame here? It's a little bit of a buff, but not too much. I think the only thing that we'll be seeing some play from this ban list that's like a newer thing that was previously unplayable is the Thunder Dragons. Also, Magic Specters, again, it'll be seeing some play for the next week, but I don't see it being like an S tier deck. Maybe it'll do some tops, but it's a really cheap deck to play though. So like everyone probably can just go build this for a couple of dollars and then they'll have like an okay-ish deck. But that is going to wrap up the ban list. So let me know, guys, do you like the ban list? Do you think it's a bad ban list? For me, kind of surprised that they didn't hit any of the stuff in these Fire King Snake Eyes, but that's kind of recent, so that's perhaps the reasoning. And again, this YuGiOh is like one of like the cards that does see play every single turn 1 in that deck, and they don't have access to but you can go for Anima. There's lots of other Link ones, but most of the Link ones aren't really generic. They require like a Cyburst monster or like a part of an archetype monster, so it was one of the best choices. That's why people played it. But what I think is kind of nasty is, like, didn't these just get reprinted? Well, I mean, rip the people that got the reprints, because, well, you can't really use them anymore. But I think that was kind of nasty. Anyways, like I said, let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, hit subscribe, turn the bell so you don't miss out on more ban lists and ban list discussions. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. And let me know, guys, what you think is going to be the best deck after this list.